Yo.
Hi, John.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. We're back. We're back from break.
Do you look at your face when it's spiraling at you?
At that particular time, I was looking at documentation. Sorry.
It's as beautiful as your face, I guess.
How was your break?
It was good. So I think that I have told you that we do like 7 Christmases.
Yeah,
in
you
our
go to
family.
everybody's Christmas in Wisconsin.
That's not true. But it does feel like that. But it's like if you look at like I don't know, if there's like I'm sure there's some sort of chart of family members where like you can see the different cores, different levels, and you expand it and like so it's like the 4 of us.
That's your 4 family.
Our 4 family, yes. I listened to that episode. And then like
The big family.
my mom, my parents, Steph's parents and siblings, and then like each grandparent,
Right.
like with them.
Yeah.
So it ends up being 7. And everybody's pretty near us, but it's still like a lot of driving and they're not all the week of Christmas. Like we do one, it basically spans a month. So we started in early December and we ended in early January.
Got it.
But those are just the bookends because the other 5 are all like within the week of Christmas. And so that's a kind of a bullshit week, I'll be honest.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very fun.
It's not relaxing. And so I think in that that time that we all have off between Christmas and New Year's, we usually have like maybe 2 days where we're just chilling. The rest of it is, wake up, maybe chill for like an hour,
Get in that
fall
car.
behind in terms of like what it is that we have to get ready, get really stressed out for like an hour to get ready, and then go and drive, and then get home after dinner.
It's not fun.
So, yeah, I mean, I feel a little bit like weird complaining about it because I'm pretty lucky that I have a lot of family in the area. But it's
No, you can absolutely complain about family.
Both
They
those
are the
things can be
worst. All those things can be true. So like in my family, or Jess and I have always arranged things that we alternate whose side of the family we spend Christmas with Thanksgiving. So like if it's my family for Christmas this year, then it was her family for Thanksgiving. Did you and your wife ever consider that kind of arrangement?
Yeah, we considered it. We just never did it, and I think the reason we didn't do it was because when we were younger, we both felt really strongly about seeing each of our own families during the holidays, and so neither one of us were like willing to give one of those up.
Got it. No one wanted to be the first.
First 5 years we were together, and then once we did that, it was like this is what we do.
Expectation is set.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We thought about it, but man, it would just be really hard.
I don't feel that way at all. I was very
No,
glad to
yeah.
only see one side of the family. And
Yeah.
anyway,
At this point, I feel like I would totally embrace it.
yeah.
But definitely when I was younger, it would have made me unhappy.
Did you get anything good for Christmas?
Ooh, I will tell you, probably the best things that I got for Christmas were, I got a lot of materials and tools for linoleum printing.
Nice.
And probably the best of that was some carving tools that are a little bit fancy. I know you don't care.
Absolutely, I care. This is the best part of our stream.
Yeah, the show and tell. Hey, the show and tell.
Hey.
Okay, so like this was the cutter that I was using, and it's like a kind of a really basic. I think it costs like $5 to $10. It's probably more like 15. If you just buy this, I bought it in a set. But it also has, you can hear it. It has like 4 more differently shaped tips in the handle. And it works fine. It's fine. But I got a couple of fancier ones where it's like on a handle. It has like a wood handle. Oh look, the top came off. That's weird. It's on a wood
That looks
handle
nice.
that like fits your palm. It's much more well designed, except for the fact that this little ring just came off. I'm not sure what that's about. But it like carves such nicer lines. Much more. I have so much more precision with these.
Nice.
And yeah, it's great. Like, did I? The last time we hung out, had I finished? No, that it couldn't have because I finished it with that tool. Do you remember that I was talking about with my keyboard? I got a keyboard,
Yeah.
and then I like wanted to print these little cheat sheet cards, and so I did that.
You did it.
I finally finished that print or that block
Nice.
to print
Nice.
them, and just like the level of detail that I was able to do with those new tools compared to the old one was because
Night
I
and day
did
difference.
3/4 of this one with the old tool.
Mm.
The last quarter was like I just flew through it. It was so easy and so nice.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you? What did you get?
I'll show you one.
What's the star? Oh, I think I know one of the things.
I got carving tools too. So this is a glove,
Cool.
and then I got a bunch of
so you don't
different.
cut your hand.
Yeah.
Are those like were those tools or was that wood that I was looking
This is for whittling wood, and these are tools, not pieces of wood. They're just
Okay.
wooden handles.
I would like to see them. Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with this
I was gonna say,
besides
do you know how to
really
use the
hurt
different
somebody.
ones?
Yeah, I have no idea what that's even used for. But I mean, it's different gouges, different shapes on the tips, and
Yeah.
thicknesses and whatnot.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I think that I think some of the tools
It's
are really
overlap?
very similar that you're using
Yeah.
compared to what I'm using.
But look at this. She got me like a nice fancy
I want one
case.
of those so bad.
Yeah, that's nice.
Where I need to know where that was found.
Okay, we'll talk.
Yep.
So that was a pretty good
cool.
one. I haven't done anything with like literally still in the packaging,
Yeah,
but yeah.
I heard the plastic, but it looks really nice, and I'm excited for you to try it out. Do you have any projects kind of in the back of your mind that you want to work on with it?
100 of them.
Okay, that's a lot. Which one, do you have any that you know you're going to start with?
No.
No.
I need time. If I could use these tools to carve out time in my life, that's what I need.
That's the secret.
Yeah.
So I think that means that your first project is to carve the word time, basically.
Ooh, nice. Yeah,
That's my suggestion.
I like that.
Cool. And you were
we also
gone.
got.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes,
I
I was
interrupted.
just gonna say we also got each other or got the family a gym membership.
Ooh, sweet. Yeah, you mentioned you've been going.
Yeah, I go all the time now. I've been 3
I'm
times.
just a gym bro.
And yeah, I mean, you know, they always say hi to me. They always use my name.
Yeah.
Does it come up in their computer? I don't know. But
Do you do a lot of like fist bumps to other people in the gym? Like
I don't
now
need
that you
to.
see them all the time.
yeah, I don't even need to. We do some of that.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I have been exactly 3 times, and I'm on that treadmill for 30 minutes to close my
Sure.
ring on my Apple Watch. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited for you. Have you thought about venturing beyond the treadmill, or are you gonna stick to the treadmill?
Right now, what I'm focused on is establishing a habit,
Yeah, consistency.
actually doing it, and not like just not going and
Yeah.
wasting the money.
Yeah. Yep. Is it a nice gym?
It's an extremely nice gym. Lifetime, like they're
Oh,
like flagship level
that's super nice.
building. Yeah, and it's like right down the street, so it's like a 4-minute drive, 3-minute drive.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
It's cool that it's that close too. I think like the closest one
one less
for me
less
is
bit
like
of friction.
is like 10 to 15 minutes, something like that, or at least the one that we have a membership to, I should say. Yeah. What else did I want to ask you? So I think there's one other gift that you got possibly before Christmas that you might not have considered a gift, based on the episode of your podcast that I just listened to. It's an Xbox.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I suppose that is.
It's kind of like a
so.
Christmas gift, right?
I gotta
For
come
yourself.
clean and tell the viewers that for years I have
All
maintained a Nintendo-only video game household.
Oh, is it? It's like a brand war type of thing for you.
It's more like the kinds of games I wanted to be in this household were like Mario Kart,
Right.
you know, the things that
Kid-friendly.
Nintendo really specializes in. Very kid-friendly, more about the gameplay than the graphics, those kinds of things. However,
Body count.
this game, Marvel Rivals, came out, and it is a 6v6 shooter style of game, but you're playing as Marvel superheroes. And this is just like unfairly targeted at John Alliard. And but it's not coming out for Switch. There's no plan for it to come out on Switch.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
And so I bought an Xbox so that I could play this game. And I was playing it tonight, and it was really fun.
Cool. Were you playing the? Does it have like a what do they call it?
Like a story mode.
Like a campaign component to it, or is it literally just online?
So you
Interesting.
online multiplayer and defeat other teams, and it's so fun.
Cool. You're definitely playing against other people.
Yeah.
You
And
there's, like,
you
a
turn that
subscription.
chat right off. You don't even connect to
Okay,
the chat.
Okay, yeah, because there's a bunch of assholes.
Yeah. But I have a couple buddies who are playing.
All of them like 10-year-olds that
Yeah.
are not.
I don't want to
supervised
hear about
and have horrible
homophobic
parents.
slurs or racism or what, my mom or whatever. I just don't need that in my life right now.
Yeah.
But I've been chatting with a couple of buddies, so it's been kind of actually fun to then, as a side effect, catch up with those friends that I don't often talk to.
Yeah. Cool. That's awesome. And you traveled for Christmas.
Yes, went to Arizona. I guess we were there like 9 nights, I want to say. 10 nights, something like that. And that was sufficient. It was nice to see my family, and it was even nicer to get home.
Yeah. That's relatable. And now you have a very cold office.
Yeah, I came down here, and I've got a little temperature gauge here. It was at 64 degrees. I turned the heater on, and it is now 66 degrees. That is too cold.
John, that's pretty close to what I keep my house at.
What?
We're a 67-degree house. My basement
Okay, well,
is...
you and I have different experiences.
Yeah, for sure. Summer also, because I remember having a conversation with you about butter, actually. Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah, like you have a butter in the freezer, you have a butter in the fridge, and you have margarine in the fridge, or like spreadable butter in the fridge,
Well,
and then you
we
gotta have
maybe
one
used to.
out.
No, okay, no. So we can't, in the summer, we cannot keep it out, or it turns to liquid. It like liquefies. Because our house gets pretty warm, we keep it. You know what the problem? You know why this happens?
Why?
Because no one closes the fucking door.
Really?
Winter or summer. Back
What?
door, people just leave it open. Drives me crazy.
That would
Just happened
be
tonight. It's like
disallowed?
11 degrees outside, and somebody walked out and left like the inside door open. Like,
No, not allowed.
anyways, yeah.
I was
You're looking at your watch.
temperature.
Oh, okay.
No, I was looking for my temperature. 14 over here.
Yeah, it's sucky. I don't like it.
Jack was gonna have this like fun field trip to like this nature center or something yesterday, and this was actually rescheduled. It was supposed to happen the week before Christmas, and it was too cold that week, and it was too cold this week, and now they don't
Yeah.
know when they're gonna do it.
That sucks. That's super annoying. Probably.
Oh,
not until,
you reminded me.
February.
Two red
hey,
dads.
I unzipped because I was hot, but yes, 2 red dad shirts. It's great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Too hot. It's 67 degrees at your house.
We have,
I'd
so
go,
we have
I'd go grab
basement heating.
another sweatshirt.
So we have like electric baseboard heating in the basement. It has like a little dial, and it's like impossible to dial it into
Dial
the
it in.
correct temperature.
Yeah.
So it's always like, it's like when, I don't know if it was like this where you went to college, but where I went to college, the heat was on like 100% of the time, and so to cool down you had to like open windows in the middle of winter, which was hilarious, because it was again like 10 degrees outside.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, where it's like you're like dying and you're like, what am I gonna do? And then you take your clothes off and then the heat shuts off here, I guess. So, anyways, I'm chatty. I know that you want to get going, but I also want to ask you about it's the new year. New year, new
It's
year.
2025. Can you believe
It's
it?
2025. Do you do any sort of New
Year's
Year's
resolution?
resolutions or any sort of reflection on 2024?
I know that what you want everyone in your life to do is to write a reflection blog post so that you can read them. And I saw your message.
I really do want to read
and-
them.
Yeah. I start them and then I never finish them. I think I'm going to do them and then I just never follow through. It just never happens for me.
That's okay. It's okay.
Yep.
No shame.
But
But
I was
but,
thinking.
okay, it doesn't have to be written. Like, do you? Yeah.
Sure.
What do you think about it? How do you look back on it?
I don't know. It was fine. I was but I was thinking about you because I'm reading a book. They're doing a book club at work at Artsy,
Cool.
and they're reading a book called The Staff Engineer's Path. I think it's called.
Oh, cool.
And this is a almost like a follow up to a kind of a famous engineering book called The Manager's Path. And really, it's pretty poorly named. It should be called like the Engineering Manager's Path. It's for engineering
Sure.
managers. Anyway, so basically, that book detailed like what is it like to go from maybe a senior engineer position into the management track.
Yep.
And so that is a glaring hole in their lineup of books about this topic, where if you want to stay on the technical track, there should be a book about that. And so then
Yeah,
this
definitely.
other author wrote this one for staff engineers and that more like technical track. Anyway, read the first chapter because I need to get through 3 by the 25th, I think. And I'm a slow reader. But I was kind of flying through it because I really liked it. And anyway, at the end of the first chapter, one of the things that this author was encouraging staff engineers to do was to write like a role description, like for the next year, basically. And so
Yeah.
I followed the format that I found in the book,
Cool.
using some of the terminology to differentiate the various types of staff engineers. So I'll just kind of briefly talk about 2 aspects. One was like breadth first, and one is depth first. So when you're encountering a problem, do you want to know like all of the pieces of the puzzle, or do you want to go like generally, or do you want to go like really deep on one piece of the puzzle and understand that and then go on to the next thing and go deep on that? Anyway, so that's like one way you can kind of like, I don't know if it really like only pertains to staff engineers. This seems like more of a universalism. Also,
Yeah.
like, don't we sometimes oscillate, or like depending on our mood or whatever the
Yeah.
problem maybe. Anyway, I identify more as a depth first engineer. With my little bit of description there, do you have a thought about which way you would?
I have strong
don't-
thought. I have like really strong opinions even about it. So what you're describing sounds a lot to me like, yeah, I think it extends beyond just like the conversation about careers. I think it really is talking about problem solving. How do you think about problems? How do you step through them and work through them? And for me, I obviously can't prescribe this, but what has worked really well for me, and I think works, I think might also be how you approach it, and might be how you're like flagging the depth first, is it's more like you do the high level depth or breadth first scan to find the places that you need to go depth first. Do you know what I mean? And it ends up being like really like there's like like 6 different spots that where you're like, these are the 6 things that I don't know enough about to feel comfortable with this to move forward. And then those are the things that you dive deep on to just like reduce uncertainty and risk. Does that align with anything that you feel, or am I projecting.
No, yeah, I was remembering a problem this week anyway, where I was working on the artwork form in CMS.
Love it. Love
Near
it.
and dear to your heart.
Spent many time there. Many times.
I've spent many time there too. And what I found myself doing was reproducing the problem,
Yeah.
then like having a hunch, and then going really far down that hunch, coming back up, and then saying, I don't think that was it. And then going really far down this, you know what I mean? And so that's why I was, yeah, but I mean, you're right that I kind of did this like, okay, how does this all fit together generally?
Yeah.
So does that mean breadth first? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like you said, it's like a hybrid, or it's like you're kind of in both modes, and you definitely as a strong engineer with like a long career, like you have that instinct of knowing when you're going too deep down this one, and being like, okay, I'm not getting enough positive feedback to think that this is the right one. I need to like step back and like bounce around horizontally to find the next hole to dig into.
Okay, so that was one aspect. So
Cool.
I described myself as a depth first.
Yep.
And then there's like 4 archetypes of staff engineer. And the one I identified with was tech lead, which itself is a role at Artsy that I had for many years and was often seemed to do a really good job with. Others were like architect. One was like, I don't know, there's a couple others. I don't really remember them off the top of my head, but
And
anyway.
the architect is more like technical, like overview of figuring out how all the different pieces fit together. and
Maybe
driving that.
you're like maybe more like writing documents more than you're writing code. I don't, trying to design systems, like systems
Yeah,
thinking.
I totally remember this conversation. I remember having conversations actually at Artsy about different like developer archetypes, and those first 2 that you named like were 2 of the ones that I remember seeing. So I wonder if it came from the same place.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then it just like is a little example for how you could maybe kind of structure what you see yourself, because what she was saying was like a part of being a staff engineer is kind of defining and defending your approach. And so
Sure.
I'm starting to kind of like follow what she's saying, giving it a shot anyway to see if it lands for me. And that was kind of like the next step. So anyway, I was thinking of you as I was writing that out and kind of,
Cool.
like having a little bit of reflection on how last year went and how I'd like to see this next year go.
Yeah. That's awesome. I hope that is fruitful for you.
How about you? Where are you at with 2024?
So my biggest issue is I always suffer from, I mean, everybody does, but recency bias, like really, it's hard for me to go back and think about how I was doing at the beginning of last year. So I actually have at this point a pretty nailed down, process for reflecting on the year. And it does include a blog post, which I won't actually finish until like January 31st at 11 p.m. I give myself the month of January to accomplish this. I actually think it's going to be really hard for me this year, because as I said under my, I don't know, what do you call this thing where you say very cold office and I say is 13 active projects too many? Headline, title,
Yeah,
whatever. Like I said, I have like so many things in my head right now that I'm excited to work on, and they're all right now vying for my attention. And this is one of those 13, is to do this year-end blog post. But yeah, mostly the way that I like to do it is it's going to be different and difficult this year. But aside from that, because in past years, I really relied on my Twitter activity or social media activity to remind me of all the things that I had going on.
maybe fill in some of the
things that I
gaps.
did.
And
Yep. Kind of like bring me back to that time. And I'll be honest, I didn't do a whole lot of like posting on anything in the past year because I have found that none of them really amounts to anything. Nobody cares what I have to say, which I don't blame them. So that'll be a challenge, but yeah, I'll look back and try to recall the things that I did in the last year. I think that I ended the year on a high note, and that always like bodes well for me. Similar to like doing a self evaluation, like how I did in the last couple months really is heavily reflected in how I treat myself with my words. But in this case, yeah, just like the 13 active projects that I have right now, I'm like so interested in so many things and doing them and not sitting on the couch and rotting, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I right now don't want to be doing that, and I've been and it's really easy for me to get sucked into it. And I haven't. I've been like really active with art projects and with even coding projects on my own, and just like exploring things, exploring tools and stuff like that. So that has felt
That's
really
awesome.
good, and feels like, it's January 8th, and usually by this point in winter I'm really depressed. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through the winter, and I'm not that way right now. Like I'm just like,
Damn, nice.
I'm just like embracing everything around
Crushing
me
it.
and just like chasing stuff and having fun. So that's pretty good, and I think that will show itself in the kind of year-end reflection that I read up.
Got it. That's great. I'm really happy to hear that that's where you're at.
Yeah, thank you.
I was reminded that one way I reflect on the year is through the various things that I log and track. And one of those things is my reading.
Oh yeah.
So I can share with you in 2024, I read 9 books for a total of 4,210 pages
Right, you're
at a
big into
pace
the
of
pages.
11.53 pages per day.
I love it. That's fantastic. How does that compare to the previous year? Do you know?
I do know because I can just hit the
I have a
previous
spreadsheet.
button. That'd be 7. So 23 was 7 books for about the same number of pages and about the same
Okay.
pace.
Okay,
And then
that's seriously impressive.
yeah.
And I like that you keep track of the pages. I think that's hilarious. I keep track of books.
I
had a
don't
bad
keep
year
track of
for
pages.
reading.
What I do is I got a API. I wrap an API and I make
Sure.
I send an ISBN to a book API and then I record the pages.
It's not nerdy at all. No, it's great. It's great. You stomped me. Congratulations. It wasn't a contest, but I'm happy for you.
Can I tell you how many books Jess read in 2024?
Is it in the 50s?
No.
Higher or lower?
She finished in Arizona her 65th book of the year. Like, what the fuck? It's not fair.
It's ridiculous. I think my wife was close to that too. She was definitely in the 50s for sure.
I'm just a slow reader. I mean, I enjoy
too.
reading. I get a little disgruntled, but I'm just slow. Like I try to
Yeah.
like speed read, and like it's very limited success for me.
Yeah. Same.
I'm like flip a few pages, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know what's going on because
Yeah,
I've been
what
trying to
just
speed
happened?
read.
I have to go back and reread it
Yeah.
like 3 times. Yep.
I don't know.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did 4 books this year, which
Hey, that's great.
is still better than like 2 or 3 years ago. Like I really exploded last year. But compared to last year, I think I was like 8 or 9 last year. And this year only 4. So
I will
but
also
it's okay.
say,
I've been doing other things, and I accept it.
in 2024, I began recording. Well, at the election, I took a break and I have continued to take a break from news related podcasts. However, I want to still have things in my ears in certain parts, while I'm doing chores around the house or whatever.
Yeah.
So I've switched to audiobooks, and I'm now adding audiobook tracking to my printed book tracking. So a part of the book pace and stuff that I just read
that doesn't
off
count though, right?
is audiobooks. And it does count because I think it does.
No, I agree. You're consuming the same information. That's awesome.
Yep.
How do you get your audiobooks?
Audible.
Audible. Is there a specific type of book that you like to listen
Yes.
to, or can listen to?
So glad you asked. The books I listen to so far, I've been trying to focus on humor books.
Sure.
And typically that's going to be David Sedaris. Who's the other David? I can't remember. But also
The guy that hosts the Heavyweight
Radcliffe.
podcast. Oh, okay.
David Radcliffe and David Sedaris. Although I've also listened to like comedians. Bob Odenkirk. You know that name,
from
right?
yeah.
I just started his memoir.
Cool.
So I'm trying to keep my audiobooks light.
I do actually. I really appreciate that. I watch a lot of comedy, like stand-up comedy videos. Maybe not stand-up. At this point, I watch a comedy show over and over and over. But like, it kind of spirals me into watching the stand-up of the comedians that are on the show. I watch After Midnight. Like, I've watched every episode of this TV show.
I didn't know that you liked it so much. That's great.
Oh my God.
She's killing it. And her special is like excellent.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Fantastic. And the show is just like so funny, and all of the comedians they have on are great. Every episode is great. But it like usually spirals me into like watching the comedians that I think are really funny. I watch a little bit of their stand up. But nice. Yeah, the more comedy I have in my life, like the happier I am, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I need that
for everybody. Mm-hmm. All right, John, 32 minutes. Should we program a computer or two?
Maybe we should. We don't have any live viewers, and we won't.
They're dead if they were here. Yeah. That's cool. Okay, do you want to drive today, or do you want me to drive? I think we have like basically one kind of thing that I want to accomplish today.
I'm thinking you should probably drive, because I think what's going to happen is we're going to be kind of like mucking around in your rules and trying,
Yeah. Okay, so I will do that. I'm going to move some windows around here. Give me one moment.
I think I'm going to sit down.
That's a good idea. You look tired.
I am tired. 30 minutes on a treadmill at my age? Hey, tomorrow is my 8-year artsy-versary.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Man, what did they give you for 8 years?
Nada. I was mentioned in all hands alongside everybody else.
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Is everybody like, who's that guy?
Old Man Allired.
Some of you guys might know this guy. Maybe not. He keeps to himself.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so here's where we're at. This particular project right here, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Oh gosh, I have to look at my cheat sheet for this. Plus sign is
here we go.
Lower in that one. Is it just that? No, it's not that.
Folks, I know this pain.
I'm sorry.
So
command and lower. No, but that's not even the right key. Oh, that's because. Hey, I got there.
Nice.
These are particularly tricky. The plus equals minus underscore. Those are hard ones for me. Many of the others I'm able to get. Those I struggle with. Okay, so this is our project, and the last thing that we did was we did some extraction of leaf and branch components, and we did this cool recursion thing where we component, and then we had it basically emit a leaf list item or a branch list item based on how many routes it had, and then the one of these, which one is it? Oh, this one. So the branch list item, so this is one where it hasn't terminated, then calls route list again. So that's where we get the recursion. So theoretically, what we have right now for rules is basically, is that in the index? It is not. It's in the routes file. What we have for this is we have like a GH parents with 2 children in it, and then this other Google one. But theoretically, what we can do now, if we wanted to, would be like, I can add an object right here if I can figure out how to use my keyboard. Jesus, I'm sorry. Name.
So this would now be a tertiary.
Yeah. So this is what, 3 deep? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm just thinking, like, sometimes I like to go to the polls, just to view pull requests. So this will be like github.com/Kamunda/Kamunda docs. Look at me go. I'm doing a good job. Solo said that. And then, what did I do?
But you probably want to be like at slash pulls, right?
Yes, thank you.
Nice.
So it's a different URL. And then it's also going to have routes, which for right now is just going to be an empty array.
Nice.
And then I'm going to save that. So we theoretically, we can go as deep as we want here. And this isn't actually running, so let's make it run.
Yarn start?
No, it's npm run dev. I wish that the entire world would centralize on this. Is it start or is it run dev? Just one. And you know what? You know what should freaking happen? Is they should just both exist so that I don't have to get it wrong. I was thinking I was gonna go make them both exist, but that's a waste of time. Okay, so here's my command, and I added this to gh-docs, and so now I can like go there, and that's, you can't see this because it's down here, but trust me, boom, it just went to the pull request site, or the pull request page of that project. So that's where we're at, and it's fantastic, and I can totally go in and fill all of these things in. And I'm excited to do that. The thing we want to do though is I don't have this written down. I do have, if I look at my other project here, let me make this one full. Actually, I'll put this one on the right and then this other one on the left. John, I also started working with playing with this tool that Pavlo shared with me called Aerospace. Do you remember all of the conversations?
Oh my god!
I
couldn't shut you up about spaces.
You couldn't shut me up about spaces. You're right. I like the way that you said that. It feels like you actually had a problem with it. No. How the fuck do I get there? There. Nope. That is the plus sign, but I need to hold down my other home row mod for that. Okay.
Just think about how fast you're gonna be once you figure it all out.
Man, I honestly, this week when I signed back on Monday, I was like a clown. It was bad news. And it's not that I hadn't used my computer over the break, because I actually did some other things, but I just like would take my laptop places and use the Mac keyboard.
Right.
But from then until today, I feel so much better at it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Aerospace, we're going to talk about that next week, which is maybe an announcement that we have. It's a tool that Pavlos taught me about, that it actually might do the spaces thing that I want to do, which is like spin up spaces willy-nilly.
Nice.
Which is fantastic. Okay. I'm here on the right side because I wanted to show you that I have all of these rules. This is from my previous iteration of this project, which was basically just a JavaScript command that ran through Raycast, which didn't have the friendly UI. But what I wanted to point out is I have this concept of wildcards, where what I would do is if I defined a rule that had star as the name, then whatever you gave me as the next argument after GH would just get plugged in to that 0. And the double star would be, you could give me 2 arguments, and I would plug those in as 0 and 1. So this is the last thing that I think is missing. And I think we can, I think I can hide this now on the right side, because this is really just what I wanted to show. But I think on the left side, I'm going to make this big again. I think we can really like demonstrate this by adding another route here that would capture anywhere else that I wanted to go. So like name star URL and do exactly what I was doing on the right side there. Oops, almost knocked my mouse off the desk. I do find that I am more reliant on my mouse right now. Oops, that's wrong keystroke. Than previously when I had a keyboard that I understood, that I had used for 15 years. And then this is going to be...
confused.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not that. I don't need the routes. Except I think I need the routes. It just is going to be empty. You're
Why?
confused. Tell me
Why did you change it to a backtick string?
Because I was going to do this, and I forgot to, and don't know how to use my keyboard.
But like, this is just a JavaScript object. Like, this is just a JavaScript object, isn't it?
Just a
Like,
JavaScript object.
what is 0 there? Like, what am I looking at?
So what I have here is basically something that I would take and plug in that value to. So I would do like a string.replace into this pattern, so that, I mean, yeah, okay, so I could put it at the end. Is that what you're saying? Because it's just going to go right at the end?
I'm saying maybe I'm misunderstanding something, but is there some reason why you have to use backticks and why you couldn't use quote marks?
Because I don't think string interpolation works in JavaScript without.
But like, we don't have anything to interpret. We're just a JavaScript object at this point.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Like,
yes,
this is not a
just
function.
a template
This
that
is
we're going to use later. Yes. Okay. Got it. Yes, that makes sense. I don't need the backticks
okay.
here.
I wasn't sure if I misunderstood something about JavaScript.
Nope.
Okay.
That was like, kind of like muscle memory, type of thing, where I know that I'm going to use string interpolation. I need to use backticks to get it to actually like stick in there for like if I'm doing like some React stuff or something.
Okay, so this gives us enough.
Yes, this is just a pattern that we're going to use.
Where if we went to sorry, I lost the hierarchy. GH docs. Oh yeah, GH docs.
So if we were to do
star.
What's the other issues? So like if I were going to do GH docs issues, I would expect. I don't know why I wrote it right there. What I should have done is put it right here on this line. This would handle it, and it would take me to community docs/issues. Or, same thing with like, what's another thing that's there? I don't even know. Poll/123.
Okay. But like, that doesn't really match.
But it doesn't really match.
Because what you would do is say, can you bring up how far we've gotten with our. Like, I think you say GH, you pick GH, then you say docs, you pick docs. You know what I mean? It's not like. So you would need like a wild card here.
Yes, I want an entry to show up here that's like anything. And when I select it, I want to get a text box so I can fill in what that anything is. Or I just want a way to say, what I really want to do is go to issues. And there may not be a result here, but I want it to take me there.
May not be a result here.
Even though I don't have one that's formally defined. Let me see if I can. I feel like there's maybe something that I need to explain about why I want to do this instead of just defining everything. And that's.
I think your pull 1, 2, 3 is a pretty good example.
Okay, good.
Right?
Or like here where I don't even know. I don't want to make one of these for every single repo in my like personal organization. I just want to make one rule and have it go to that repo when I type it in as like freeform text.
Yeah, I think I understand your use case. I'm trying to.
The use case is valid. Okay.
Well, it just like seems to not fit with the sliding in of action lists. What are they called? Can I see the components again?
Let's see. The route list.
Route list. So the route list draws.
I think I can close all this.
Leaves and branches. Action panel, action push. Right. So. Right. So we either we have a list component that has many action panels.
Mm-hmm.
Each action panel is either a push or an open in browser.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
but like they are named. And if you wanted to provide an arbitrary string, like we don't have a match for that to execute, is what I'm trying to kind of like match what you're saying. It's almost like you have to
Uh,
type wildcard or type asterisk, pick the
yes.
wildcard one, and then you could start typing
Yes. 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 Yes.
holes one,
Yes.
two, three.
I accept that. I accept that it's going to be an item in the list. Like I think I could just saved it. So I think I can do this. Docs. I accept. So what I'd like is I'm going to put this one first, so that I can just hit it without having to type anything. I accept that I would have to hit that key in order to get whatever that next interface is that allows me to enter a text value.
Got it. Okay, cool. So then, what I'm
Does that
interested in
make
next
you feel better?
is yes.
Okay.
Then what I want to explore is a leaf component that doesn't open in browser, but rather draws a form.
Yes. Is that I think that's where we're at. Is what is the correct interface to use? So these are the Raycast docs for list, but you're saying form is the right. Oops, I do not want to ask.
This is just an
AI.
idea. Where the fuck is the thing? User interface form. Yeah, you're waiting for the
Oh,
same
here it
thing
is.
to
User
load. I am.
interface. Okay. So we have action panel, which is like the list of things, exposes the list of actions. Actions themselves. Perhaps there are different types of these. So actions copy to clipboard, open in browser with, paste push, submit form. Title equals submit answer. So, okay. Okay, so this is like something that you do inside of a form.
Right. So,
Grid. Yeah, I think form is the only one where we really can accept anything.
right. So the way I'm thinking about this is when we're drawing that leaf, talk, John. When we're drawing the star, it shouldn't be an open in browser, but it shouldn't be maybe it should be a navigate. And what it does is it slides in the form.
Maybe it should. Yes, I think that what it'll be is it'll be similar to with the branch list where we action push something. I think we're gonna push instead of a route list. We're gonna push the form. That might be what you just said. So I'm just gonna call this wildcard form because I don't know what else to call it. But I'm just gonna try to make things show up. How does this have the default value of Steve?
Is that what you copied and pasted? Yeah, it does have a default value of Steve.
What the F?
It does
That's
on mine
exactly
too.
what I would have done. Okay. I'm a little scared. Okay, so let's get rid of this. And let's just try to make this happen and see what it looks like. Whatever. I'm literally not gonna change anything. I am going to do let's say we have another branch that's like function. I'm maybe struggling a little bit here, but like wildcard branch list item. I want this to look a lot like the branch list item. But it's going to be slightly different. Oops, I should grab from there. because I want to just, oops, I don't know what happened there. I want to simplify how I'm going to do this. Like I just want to make the decision here in one place. So let's say if routes.length equals 0, then if route.name is equal to 3 star, then honestly I'm crushing these keystrokes, I gotta say. Then I'm going to do return this other one. The, what did I call it? Wildcard branch list item. We'll go back and refactor these things to be better names. Route equals, I don't know that I actually care about this stuff. I'm just trying to make stuff appear.
Okay.
Route and key, just copy and paste it. Save us all time. Like that. I am gonna stick an else in here, even though I know I don't need it. I don't know why I didn't remove that line, but okay. Okay, so this is just like, it kind of switches between these two. And potentially, let's get rid of that. Potentially emits this wildcard branch list item, which is going to put on there a wildcard form. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. And I don't need any arguments to that. So I think what this should do, if I connected all of the dots, is when I select that star, will fall into this branch, will emit the wildcard branch list item, which will emit an action panel that shows a different
pushes a form.
view. Pushes this form that is defined down here, the wildcard form, which is not going to look at all like we want it to look, but it should look like a form. Does that sound right to you?
I can't tell. I think so.
Okay, so let's try ghdocs star. Boom, we get a form.
What?
And I want it to be like issues, and hit enter. And then when I hit enter, it's going to do the things that we did with the leaf list item, which is to open in browser. How we make that open in browser happen, I'm like a little bit lost in terms of the API, whether I need an action panel there or not.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because right now on submit, what this does is it console.logs, and I don't know what that should look like to basically like push that open in browser.
Can we even just like console log the URL we would send them to once we figure out how to
Sure.
do that part?
Yep. So I think what we're doing is we're going to capture the route as an argument here. And then I'm going to on submit equals values. I want a console.log route and values. And so we should see both of those things in there, both the route that we defined and route. Is that what I called it?
Yep.
Route equals route. And then what does wildcard branch list item, does it need something passed in? No,
It's already got it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so now I think if I do, let's open my terminal. I'm going to clear that. And then let's run this thing. ghdocs star Steve. Oh, it's command enter. There. Okay, so I submitted it. Now I can see that I have all the data that I need, which is the URL plus name Steve.
Yeah, nice.
So we could do something like, let's see. So let's just build the URL here. Const URL is going to equal route dot URL dot replace. And I think what I have in there right now is like $0. Ugh, good grief, why can't I ever find this keystroke? With, oops, that went to end, not of the end of the file, not the end of the line. With the values, this feels like it could be typed somehow. Oh, no, I need to do this inside of here, I think.
Yeah, you should have a handle submit function or something.
Oh my god. I'll get there, John. And then, is that the right place? That is the right place. And then let's just, let's go to end of the line again, and then stick a semicolon. Nope, not there. There. There, and then let's console.log the replacement that I'm trying to do. So route.url.replace, and we'll replace the 0 token with, it's irritating that this isn't typed, but we know that there's going to be a, what did we call it? Where is the form actually? Oh, there it is. Text field ID name. Like that. All right. This is, why is this not formatting this document? Is that really what it wants it to look like? That doesn't seem right.
No, looks like garbage. I mean, extract a function?
Can I do that without actually doing anything? Extract refactor? Extract to function in module scope? I don't know if that's the right place. Oh, it did like stick some types in there for me. That's
Wow,
weird.
look at that.
Oh my god, that's super annoying. Because it's actually a, what is it called, higher order function.
Mm-hmm.
Because it takes values and route. So I wonder if I refactor to something different, it will look different. Convert to inner function, is it going to look the same? Yeah, it looks the same. Who cares? Okay, so whatever, get rid of that type for now, because nobody knows what it is. On submit, new function, but it doesn't pass it anything. I think I have to do this manually because I don't think that tool is doing anything. Okay, so we have...
But couldn't you just have this be like a sibling of the return and just...
Yeah, sure. We can put it there.
Oh, you don't want to use const. Got it.
Function do thing is going to take the routes and the values, and it's going to, oh my god, why can't I ever find this? There. It's going to do the thing, and it's going to do this stuff that's right here. Log all that stuff. I think it's complaining about types. Yeah. So values, and then it's going to call do thing with route and values.
Oh, yeah. I understand now why this is a little more complicated because it's taking... It's binding in local state and state above it. The route and the values are two different levels of state.
Right. Yep. Yeah, you can't just reference do thing. You have to actually give it additional information. Okay, I think that did the thing. Those are still, it's still complaining about those being any types. I don't really care right now. I mean, I guess I can fix that, but Well, I actually don't know that I can because I don't know what values is. But let's see if we can see this, and then submit it. And then we actually can't see anything here because I don't have the terminal up. But there, that's the value that we want.
Okay.
So
while you were futzing with that, I did a little research, and there's an import open from Raycast/API, and if you do that, you can give it the URL, and then it will. Okay, so this is in the system utilities area of the API reference, and then look at open.
Cool.
So if you leave off the second argument, it will use the default application. So it should just go to your default browser.
Perfect. Okay. So, and I'll probably need this too.
Right.
So that's, I'm going to just stage everything that we have right now. I know we're not at a commit point, but, cause we still got to figure out those types. But basically what you're saying is if I do, we'll leave the console log. Oops, that's not right there. That's going to need to be up here, and we'll put that right there. Oh, it's the same one. So open.
Oh, I thought it was a different source. Got it.
Me too. So now we have open, and then let's hope there's no secrets in my
This is going to be like await open. Yeah.
We'll get rid of that, and then we need to make this an async function.
Oh boy.
And then we probably need to await from here. And then, what is it? Like async goes here, I think. Yeah. That assumes that onSubmit accepts that as an asynchronous, but it's not complaining about types, so I think it probably does.
I still see red in the file name.
I think that is.
Oh, is that same old routes and values? If you just put any on there, would it go away? Just to like.
It's. I think actually this is this.
True.
Oops. And then I think values is the one that I don't know. Oh no.
I guess you could hover on unsubmit.
What is that? Does not exist on type. How is this a different shape?
But wait a minute. Now that I'm looking at this, you don't have to pass route to do thing.
I don't have to pass route. I can just pass URL?
Yeah, you can just pass values.
I need to pass the URL.
But I'm saying the do thing function defined on 61 can bind in route from its outer.
Oh, from the wildcard form component.
Right.
Got it. Okay, so I think what you're saying is instead of all of this stuff, I can say onSubmit equals do thing with no parentheses. Okay. So then this does not need this, but we still don't know. I still don't know what type values is. You're thinking if I add an explicit any, that might make things go away. It looks like no.
I was just trying to get the file name to not be read, so I was, yeah. I know I was cheating. What if you hover on onSubmit? Will it tell you what values is?
Values. Oh, submit form props.
Hey.
I don't know how to type that. How do you?
Because it has
this
a
component
generic.
It's a submit form props sub any.
God damn it. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I don't personally care. Like I can move past the TypeScript error. It does not bother me. We can figure that out at a later date. Holy shit, John! We're past 10 o'clock.
Oh, didn't even see it.
Okay, let's do this for 30 more seconds just to see it happen.
Okay.
Because I think we're there. So instead of opening this, what I actually want to open is this. I know I should make this a variable, but I just want to see it happen. Open that. Okay. So now
I think it's going to
I
work.
think this is all working. And if I go here and I'm say gh docs this, and I say issues, oops, and I remember that I have to command enter to it, it opens to my issues, which is great.
Boom.
So we're there, basically.
Nice.
Some tweaking. I want to change the order. I want this to be the top one, which I suppose I can do just by the order in which I define them. Just
I
so
have an
that
idea.
I don't have to type anything to get the asterisk, because I don't have to type asterisk.
What if instead of the leaf, what if the wildcard was a property of the parent?
What if the wildcard was a property of the parent? Let me think about what you mean. If I look at routes, is that where I should look?
Yeah, so I'm saying you tell docs on 13 that it has an additional property
Yep.
called wildcard, or has wildcard true, and then it will insert into its routes array a wildcard that'll prepend. Yeah. Anyway,
Yes.
that's for
That
next
makes
time.
sense. We're gonna stop because we're 6 minutes over. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. If I can figure out where my actual StreamYard window is.
Oh, we got to end stream. I can just press that button.
All right, John. Love you.
Bye, everybody. We love you so much.